Hello ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you have a fantastic day. And today we are recreating 3 mini games out of Fall Guys. If you don't know what Fall Guys is,
Maybe you feel me? I don't know what's going on. Okay.
So we are going to recreate 3 of the mini games in Fortnite Creative, which are super easy to make, by the way. 2 of them are super easy and 1 of them is a little bit more advanced. And we're gonna get right into it with the first one. Alright, so the first game that we're going to recreate is a TNT run kind of type of game mode. Obviously, if you're familiar with Minecraft, you know what this type of game mode is. You jump on a tile and then that tile disappears, and then you have to move on until there's no tiles left, and obviously the last player alive wins. In Fortnite Creative, this is super easy to create, and in Fall Guys, I think this is called Hexagon, with the little funny name thingy. So obviously I recreated the one from Fall Guys here with the hexagons here, and it is obviously on you how you can make that up. But the one important thing is obviously the explosive device here, and I'll show you guys obviously the settings. So the first thing that we want to change is the blast radius, and this one is important. Basically shows on how far the explosion goes. So this depends on how far you make the tile. So for this one, you can see here that the little circle here, it only explodes that one tile, and that's obviously the one thing that you want to create. So make that as big as your tile is that you want to destroy. Obviously player damage to 0. So the structure damage obviously depends on how much health your objective has below it, like whatever you want to use for that. It obviously needs to get destroyed with 1 hit. So for this one, 25 is enough, and we're gonna use that. But obviously if you have something bigger, you should change that number. Knockback should definitely be off, because otherwise you would just fly away, which is obviously not what you want. Explode on proximity range is also very important. It has to be the same as the blast radius. So if someone jumps on the tile, the thing recognizes, oh, he's now on the tile, and I now have to explode. So that is important. The proximity delay is very important here, because we obviously don't want the thing to disappear immediately as soon as we get in the range. We want to give the player a chance to jump off that thing. So leave it to 1 second or whatever you want to have here, but obviously do not make it on off. Then play audio and VFX should be off. That can be on, off, whatever. That's just a range visualization, so it doesn't matter too much for you. One thing which is also important is visible during game should be to off or to no. Collision during game obviously also to off. Show health bar to off. Request on offside also no. Play audio also no. And it is it. This is basically how you can create this game mode. Now you obviously have to copy and paste this one thing and place it on all these different tiles, which is a little bit tedious, yes, but it don't require any channels, which is great. And let's move on to the next one. So the next one is the kind of find the right path mini game. So obviously there is a set path which players have to run over, but they obviously don't know which tiles are the ones that are the right path. So if we're going to start a game, you can see that all these tiles look the same, and nobody knows which ones are the right ones, which are the safe ones, you can say. And that one is basically the same barrel as over there, with the small difference that you obviously don't want a proximity delay in here, because obviously the second someone jumps on here, it should disappear and that player should fall into whatever you have down there. So that is very important that you obviously have that off. And then other than that, you can just kind of set a path and then do the same thing. They should be obviously off. And then if we start the game here, you can see they all look the same and nobody obviously knows where the right path is. And then if I jump on here, you can see I immediately fall down and I have to restart again. Obviously you have to put some kind of respawn system here or whatever, or obviously kill players, whatever you want to prefer here. But this is obviously very easy to create, and you can create with all kinds of different things. And obviously this is not the only way in how you can make this. There's obviously a lot of different ways. You could also do this with trick tiles or different stuff, but this is one of the easiest versions. Obviously it's always the same path, but if you want to have multiple arenas or something, you can definitely do that. So the next game mode is actually something that a lot of you guys should be very familiar with, especially in the Fortnite creative scene. So this is basically a game mode where there is something given to you, like a number or a fruit in Fall Guys example, or a color, and then you have to jump on that color to not die. And for the creative, this works obviously as well. As you guys know, Color Switch is a very popular map, and I will obviously leave the link down in the description if you want to play that map. We can rebuild this in Fortnite Creative as well. So you can see here the dice is rolling. Obviously this is very Walmart version again, and you can see that we have to jump on green. So we're already on green and we're fine. The tiles pop back up and we can roll again. Alright, so and this is very easy to recreate in Fortnite Creative. I'm using 3 colored tiles here right now, but you can obviously use whatever you want, or whatever theme you want to use for this. But the main reason this is working is because of the beautiful trick tiles. So in the trick tiles you have to set up, obviously for each color you have to set up trick tiles. So for example, this is for the color red, and in this trick tile I have the activation delay on none. So there's no activation delay. The trigger on player contact should be off, but it doesn't matter too much. And then it's very important that each of the ones that have the different colors have different channels. So you can see this one has channel 1, this one has channel 2, and this one has channel 3. So one thing which is also important is the reset when receiving from. So that is channel 4, and that needs to be channel 4 for all of the trick tiles. The reason for that is obviously if the people are safe, we want the whole scenario to reset, and obviously that is done by just one channel, which is obviously very channel saving. So the next thing, we also need something to start the whole scenario. I'm using a button here just to make it easier, but you can obviously start from game start or have some different automatic system, whatever. Just important that you have something that actually starts the whole thing. Then obviously you want to have the display which shows which the players have to jump on. So for these are important is that I'm using billboards here, and then I have just color orange, green and red, and these one each have different channels, but not the channels that we use for the trick tiles. This is important. One thing which I like to do is I try to, you know, kind of 10 up the channels here. So you can see this is orange and this is channel 13, and this one has channel 3, so I can easier remember them. So you can see here this is channel 3, this is channel 13, so I can easily remember them if I have a lot of them. So the same goes for this one. This is channel 11 for you know, channel 1, and this one is channel 12 for channel 2. Then obviously I have also the rolling thing, but you don't need that. One thing which you then have to do is obviously go here and then just line them up behind each other like this. For example, be careful, billboards are very glitchy and they're very hard to work with. And then what you want to do is obviously turn them off, so you don't want to have them shown from the start. And same with the orange and red, and then the rolling in front of it. So you have a nice little thing which then pops up out of nowhere. Okay, bear with me, this looks a bit confusing, but it's not at all. It's super easy to make, and I'll show you step by step. So we start off by the Rng device. So in here you want to have, depending on how many colors you obviously have and or how many things, you want to have different things. So we have 3 colors, so we only need 3 values. Then turn the winning value to 0. The roll time is obviously on how long you want to give the players to jump around. So I have that on 5 seconds. The next thing which is important is that you have a zone which is set to forward here, and then the length is the same one as the value limit 2, so 3. Play audio, whatever, turn out to none. And then activate, obviously we have to activate the whole thing, so that is the same thing as the button. So let's take these aside because we don't need them yet. And as you can see, these are the channel 11, 12 and 13. So these are linked to our billboards which show which color should be selected. So you only need them here, just put them in here in the 3 rows. So this is selecting red, green and orange. After now, what is going to happen? We're going to start the thing and it's going to select one color. So in this case, it's going to select the middle one, which I think is green, and which is great. So now the screen on the thing shows green, but now nothing happened yet because we have not selected anything else. So the one thing that we obviously want, since color green is selected, we obviously want to have color red and orange disappearing. And how we can do this is obviously just by putting in trigger devices which are triggered by channel 12. So in here you can see this is triggered by channel 12 with a 1 second delay, because obviously we want the players to give a little bit time to jump around. So this is going to trigger if this gets selected. And channel 1 is obviously linked to the orange tile, or the red tile I think. And this one, same here, gets triggered when channel 12 and then triggers channel 3. So this is linked to our orange tile. So what is going to happen if this gets selected? So this one gets selected and these two get activated, which means the tile orange and red are going to disappear, and we only have the color green there. So for example, if this one gets activated, which I think is orange, orange gets activated and green and red are going to disappear, which obviously are these two ones. So you have to go in here, channel 11 and 3, and same goes for red over here, or orange, channel 13, channel 1, and channel 13 and channel 2. Great, so now we have our mechanic working, but now obviously we are stuck. So there will be just one channel selected and we have one tile which is active, but obviously we want to reset them. So how we can fix that is obviously, since we put in every single trick tile a channel, we're gonna have channel 4 here, which is the channel which resets all of the trick tiles. And what you just want to do here is just simply put in each of these here. So this is triggered by channel 11, this is triggered by channel 12, and this is triggered by channel 13. And you obviously also want to set it on a 5-second delay. So that basically means on how long they have to stand on that platform to be, kind of reset. But Richie, what are these for? So these are basically just to kind of disable the rolling thing, which you saw earlier. So at the beginning you saw rolling, like I started the game and then it says rolling and then a color popped up. So these are basically just here to disable this thing to actually show one of these. So we can just simply put them in here, which are set to channel 100 for now. You can see that in a second. So we can just put them into these here. So each time one of those gets activated, the rolling billboard gets deactivated. So you can see here, this is just a channel 100 trigger. And if we go over to the triggers again, so if we go over here again, you can see the rolling thing, which is the first thing that should pop up. So you can see if we go in here that this is the just hidden when receiving from channel 100, which we just showed. And then obviously set visible when activating, or when channel 10, which is basically this one right here. Oops. Which is basically this one right here. So if I press this, the rolling thing obviously pops up for 5 seconds until it's get deactivated, and then one color shows up. Then the whole sequence here starts, and then we can press it again to restart it over and over again and have fun. I know the last one was a little bit more advanced, but hopefully you guys could stick to it. If you have any questions, try to, put them in the comments. Let me know what you also want to see. Also, do the usual YouTube stuff, subscribe, like, and I will see you guys back in my next video. Bye.